Hello, everyone. My name is Ola Zaccheus, and I have a word for the week beginning 15th of January 2023. And that word says, The Words That Wound, Part 2. The Words That Wound, Part 2. And I'll be reading 1 Samuel chapter 25, verses 10 to 11 in the New Living Translation. Who is this fellow David? Nabal sneered to the young men. Who does this son of Jesse think he is? There are lots of servants these days who run away from their masters. Should I take my bread and my water and my meat that I've slaughtered for my sharers and give it to a band of outlaws who come from who knows where? So this was an issue that arose between Nabal, a very wealthy man, and David, when David was still running for his life from the hands of Saul. And it was so bad that David almost committed murder because of the evil words spoken to him. There are many people that have a bad leadership style. Their leadership style is to talk harshly to everyone so that they can feel powerful. Many of such people are narcissists. They talk rudely and harshly to their spouse, children, domestic staff, employees. They talk rudely to everyone. And this is their own way of feeling powerful. Also, some people talk anyhow because they think they can do it without suffering any consequences. But can I say something? There are consequences for degrading a human being like you with your words. There will always be consequences. So even if the person you spoke to harshly can't do anything because they are powerless, God will surely do something in his own time. Talking about words that wound, I also want us to know that there are unspoken words that can wound as well. Let's say somebody greets you, maybe your staff or somebody you consider junior to you. You don't bother to reply because you think, why? I'm not at your level. You just blank them out. You don't reply. You haven't said anything, but you have actually said something in your mind. You have said something like, who are you? Why are you talking to me? You have wounded another person by snubbing them. I had an experience years ago. This is a true life story about myself. It was many, many years now, probably going on to 2 decades or more. It was 2nd of January and the first working day of the year. So I was full of optimism, believing God for great things in the new year. So that day we had a staff meeting with the boss. At that staff meeting, the boss talked to all of us harshly and rudely as if we were nothing. Meanwhile, many of us in that meeting were chartered accountants. We were junior colleagues to this boss, yet he spoke to us as if we were rubbish and riffraffs. My dear friend and listener, you don't know tomorrow, so you must always be careful today. That day when we finished the staff meeting, I felt so downcast in my spirit. I almost became depressed because of the terrible and heavy words the man spoke to us. And the irony was that we had a client assignment that day that the boss lambasted us, and we're all expected to function very well at the client's office. I was the one driving my colleagues and myself to that assignment. Yet my spirit was so heavy because of the abusive words that the boss had spoken to all of us. On the first day, the first working day of the year, no less. On the outside, I looked okay. But on the inside, I was torn to shreds and I was bleeding. When I got into my car with my colleagues, I didn't say a word. I put on Christian music so that my wounded soul could be comforted and healed. I thank God that it changed my story. I thank God that it changed my level. There is a tomorrow. Those that are down, those that you are looking down on today, will not always be down. There's also something I noticed. When people talk to you roughly, sometimes they do so because they are afraid of your potential. So they talk down on you so that you can feel like you're nothing. Because when you feel like you're nothing, you can't stretch forth to your true potential. I want to encourage you. When people speak terrible words to you, shrug it off immediately. Don't let it enter into your spirit to go and damage you. Words can damage. Words can make a reasonable person do what they shouldn't do. David was so grieved in his spirit because of the grievous words that Nabal spoke to him that he almost committed murder. Don't speak words that wound. Don't speak it to people in their presence. Don't speak it about people behind them. And if someone wounds you with their words, like I've said, shrug it off immediately. I want you to know that the opinion of a person that cannot be bothered to talk with decency doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't count. Thank you for listening to me. I pray that you have a great week. God bless you. Amen.